Think of all the sports heroes who changed the future of their sport with their talent and their star power, and you have to put Wilt Chamberlain near the top of that list. Now, I was a kid sports reporter when I got the assignment to cover his induction into the Naismith Hall of Fame in Springfield, and as a Boston Celtics fan, I always rooted against him. But in person, that's my rewind tonight. When 7'1" Wilt Chamberlain walked onto a basketball court, he didn't block the view. He was the view. For 19 years, he used his height and his wiles to exhaust every basketball net in the NBA. He scored 43 points in his first NBA game, and by the time he retired, 72 records were his personal property, including the only 100-point performance in a single game.
A 7'1" record breaker.
In 1978, Wilt the Stilt towered over a room full of admirers.
Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest offensive player in pro basketball.
I was the young sports reporter sent to Springfield, Mass. To cover the amazing moment in sports history. And the giant of a man was often called standoffish, and difficult was anything but.
You don't think about ever achieving an award like this when you first start playing basketball, but I tell you, when you see the people's names and faces in here in the hall, it's just really an honor to be part of it.
Wilt Chamberlain's skill and his size had changed the game forever. The league widened the lane to make it harder for the sports giants to get to the basket. They introduced a new big man penalty, offensive goaltending, and banned dunking from the free throw line, something Chamberlain had done to compensate for a horrible foul shot. Yet, despite his complete mastery of the game, the Big Dipper was often put down as someone who couldn't win the big one. 300 miles to the north of Philly, another big man was winning the big games. Bill Russell of the Boston Celtics.
Probably one of the greatest defensive struggles ever waged on the NBA basketball court came when number 6 of the Boston Celtics met number 13 of the Philadelphia 76ers. And even here, they need an NBA referee between them.
DePaul University coach Ray Meyer was also inducted into the hall that day.
Well, if you open my veins, maybe a basketball would pop out. It's my life.
But it was the superstar with the 4-foot vertical jump and the Brioni suits that they had come to see.
What would it take to get Wilt Chamberlain back in an NBA uniform?
It would take about 20 years of my life, and we had 20, 21 or 22 to get me back. I'm really happy at what I'm doing. I feel as though probably if I needed to play or really wanted to play, I could play. But my life is very satisfying right now.
By then, Wilt had moved on to professional volleyball, where he was the president of the league and a player for a couple of years. Chamberlain died in 1999 at the age of 63 from congenital heart disease. Some of the records he still held at his death: 35 straight baskets without a miss, more than 1,000 straight games without fouling out, and a 50-point scoring average for a season. And just a side note, that film of his induction was so rare that the NBA told us they didn't have it.